This is Cady Fontana. I'm the Makerspace Librarian at Tompkins County Public Library, and I'm here today to do a basic Adobe Illustrator tutorial to show you how to turn a JPEG picture from the internet or from your email into a vector image that can then be edited and cut on our Epilogue laser cutter. So bear with me, I am not an expert at Illustrator, but I've learned a few skills, and it's something that I think our patrons will be able to find useful. So let me just get us here. So what I'm going to be working with today is an image of our logo. This is actually just a screenshot image that I took off of our website so that I could show you how to start with a really basic image. So this image is just something that I was able to snatch online. I know about the copyright for it, so I'm going to play around with it, but I am not claiming that I created this image or this logo. And that's something also to keep in mind when you're choosing images to play with online. If you're using them for educational use, you can play around with images that you didn't create, but if you're going to be making something to sell, you need to be more wary of copyright and what the rules are for the images that you're utilizing. Okay, so all that aside, we're going to play around using Adobe Illustrator. So if it's not already down here at the bottom, you can open up either the Finder, which is this little smiley face guy, and go into Applications. And it is in the Adobe suite. So you see there's lots of Adobe ones, and Illustrator is one that has the initials AI, so Adobe Illustrator. So you can double click that. And then there it is. It's the one with the little icon. So I already have this open to a new document. I like to set my document settings to be similar to what I'm going to be cutting. So the wood that we usually play around with in the Makerspace is 12 by 12 inches. So that's what I have my my bed here cut to, my bed here shaped to. So this is going to be 12 inches on each side. And I also have set up some of my essential tools. Those can all be found under the window option. So here you can see lots of different tools that you can choose for different things that you want to do in Illustrator. I definitely don't know how to use all of them yet, so if you don't know how to use all of them, that is not a big deal. I just choose the ones that I know I'm going to use when I do this process. So the big one that we're going to be using is Image Trace. Now that I've selected all of them, I have them all over here on the side, so this is where I'll walk you through them. So I've got Image Trace. I have Stroke, which gives us the weight of the line. That's really important for when we want to set the settings so that the machine understands to cut this out. And I have a Transform tab that lets me know what the width and height of the object is once I have an object in there. And I have a color guide and color tab. So that lets me change the colors really quickly and easily, change what the stroke of the object is, which is something that will also be important. Okay, so I'm going to actually just drag my image from the desktop right into my big blank space. Oops, let's try that again. Whoop. Hey, that's not working. Let's try something else. So I'm going to go to my desktop through my Finder, the little smiley guy, and I'm going to just drag it right in. There it is. So if one thing doesn't work, just try something else. So now see how it has this X across it? That just means that I haven't set it down and placed it yet. So I'm just going to drag it to where I want it. I'm just going to put it right in the screen. I'm not going to worry about resizing it yet. I'm just going to click off of it. Okay, now I just have this nice image sitting there, my logo. Because I took it from the website, you can see that there's some gray and some white behind it. That's something that we're going to want to get rid of. So I'll show you how to do that. But first, I'm actually going to just go ahead and copy and paste this image so I have it twice in this document. So to do that, I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Command-C to copy. And then I'm going to click off of the image, and I'm going to do Command-V to paste. So that gives me a second one. It's V, not P. So if that is confusing to you, it's because they're right next to each other that they chose that. So I'm just going to actually drag the second image off of the build plate and just put it right over here, kind of in this dead zone so that I can get it back later. Okay, so now I'm going to click this image, the one that I have on my white box. It's called the artboard. I have it on my artboard. And now I can see all this stuff has kind of come to life on the side here. So I have image trace, so I'm going to do that in a second. I've got the transform tab, which tells me that this is a 10 by 7 inch object. And so we're going to start out by doing image trace. So I'm going to go to the preset options. We have a few different options here. A lot of times what you're going to want to do is use the silhouette option, because that's just going to, I'll show you, turn it into like a very basic black and white image. And a lot of times this is a really great option if you're just trying to get this outline. If I just want to get this outline so that I can just cut out this circle, and if it was a more complicated shape, it would still give me this shape. This is a really great option, and then you can actually just go on to the next step. If there's something here that it's not showing, and like maybe this thing has an eye that you want it to get cut out, you can use the threshold option over here to turn this sensitivity down. So let me try showing you. Yeah. So now I've got a nice black and white logo from my original logo, because I was able to turn the threshold or how intense of a silhouette it was going to make on this logo down. But for the purposes of what we're doing right now, I am actually going to change the preset. So I'm not going to use silhouette right now. I'm going to try doing a 3-color tracing. So it takes a second. So this is what you want to do when you are doing something with different colors. You want to be able to play around a little bit with what colors it has. So you can see here that it did a pretty good job. I would have thought this would show up white, showed up blue, but that's something that we can fix. So now I'm going to take this object that I've made. That looks fine to me. I'm going to go up here to Object, Expand. So this I think of as expanding it to all of its possibilities. It makes it into a vector image, and it makes all of the lines that are outlining all these shapes alive. So I'm going to hit OK. So now you can see there's a light blue line around all of the different shapes, but they're all connected, so I can't really edit them too much yet. So what I have to do is go up here back to Object and choose the Ungroup option. I'm actually going to do that a couple of times, Object, Ungroup, until I can't do it anymore. And you can tell I can't do it anymore because it's grayed out, and now it just gives me the option to regroup it, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to click off of it, and I'm going to grab one of the shapes, and I should be able to move a shape away from everything else. There. So see, this is now a vector shape. It's totally editable, and I can delete different parts of this image. I can steal different parts of this image from it, or I could even like change the text here if I wanted it to say my name or something like that. So this is a really quick and easy way to make a vector image without having to actually manually trace something. So I'm actually going to hit pause, and I'll be right back with you.